We've just come through a Scottish referendum campaign where business interventions were very much to the fore. We're in the week of the Labour Party conference, going towards a general election where once more commerce is going to be in the crosshairs. Surely what we've learned from Scotland is that companies can intervene in political discussions constructively. Would you agree, Sarah?
Well, I don't know why you think that companies' intervention in Scotland was constructive. I mean, I don't think we've got any evidence of that whatsoever. And certainly what I would see is business, A, being very wary about taking part, and I think they're quite right to be wary, but B, as one leading business person said to me last week, we're talking to ourselves. And that's what, when big business speaks, big business and the city listens. The man on the street doesn't.
I agree there can be a danger of that, but I think I would tend to disagree with you completely about last week, I think, because what we saw was that companies played a pivotal role. They came in and they supported a political argument for no, which had got rather lost in the weeds over arguments about economics, about oil and so forth.
But there was a very clear backlash to that. I mean, some businesses did come out, others I think gained as much credibility by not intervening and saying, as Tesco I believe said, we won't make a statement pro or con, A, because we respect the differing views of our customers and we respect the differing views of our staff, and frankly, you risk alienating an awful lot of people if you come out on one side or the other. And the second thing is that big business's voice is, some might argue, irretrievably tainted by the financial crisis. I mean, the CBI has argued that actually this process has been good because big business has started rehabilitating itself. I see absolutely no signs of that.
I'm not so sure about that. I think banks have been very badly tainted, and I think they're in a poor position to issue statements and put out diktats about how people should vote on key issues. For ordinary companies, I feel it's a bit different. I think we've moved on beyond the 1980s when a lot of big quoted companies were making political donations to the Conservative Party in a rather sheep-like way. And don't you feel that as we go towards a potential referendum on EU membership in 2017, that's an issue that's so big that business leaders really can't afford to sit on the fence?
Well, this is very much what people like the CBI believe, that business has to find a voice because it's so important that we make the arguments for why most British business, it appears, would prefer the UK to stay in the EU. But I think it's partly a question of tone, isn't it? They manifestly didn't get it right often in their comments in the run-up to the Scottish referendum. I mean, the supermarkets that came out and said, look, this is going to result in higher prices, their competitors said, great, you charge more, we'll charge less and we'll get the customers. And I'm really not sure how much, if I had been a floating voter in Scotland, whether a supermarket saying I'm going to charge you more would have actually swayed me in one direction or the other.
Well, I think we've got to leave it there. Thanks very much, Sarah Gordon, European Business Editor. But I think we can probably agree there's plenty of jeopardy on both sides in terms of either taking a view or not taking one at all.